Hello and welcome to another book without a barcode, where in this video I will be reviewing Ayn Rand's The Night of January 16th. That was written originally in 1933. This is a 1970s Signet edition that I managed to find recently, and I know this is a little controversial because Ayn Rand is a little controversial, but she is one of my favorite fiction writers of all time. I have read a lot of her books over the course of my lifetime, and Atlas Shrugged is my favorite book. When I saw a vintage paperback in a store that I had never seen before by her, I immediately had to scoop this up, and I did not know until I cracked it open that it's actually a play that she wrote in 1933 while she was trying to get enough money together so she could finish her first actual novel. And was a super quick read because it was a play, and I was actually pleasantly surprised by how much I enjoyed this. Like I've said before, she's one of my favorite authors. I just like her writing style. I like the way that she portrays both men and women in most of her works, and how she portrays their dynamics, especially, as a woman that immigrated to America from Russia. She, I think, is a very controversial character overall because of her voracious declaration of adoration for capitalism, I think is why she's considered problematic. While I'm not exactly excited about the late stage capitalism that we are currently living in, and do consider myself very leftist, I like some of the things that she does in her works. For example, I very much enjoy the fact that almost all of the female characters that she writes in her works are sexual beings. I feel like Ayn Rand is a woman who did things and enjoyed them. And that was apparent in this play, as short as this is. I also was shocked because I read the play and I was like, I've never heard of this play before. I've never seen it perform at all. And, after reading through the entire thing, I realized that has to do probably due to the fact that nowadays there's DNA testing. So the premise of this play wouldn't work in modern society because DNA testing exists. But I think it could still be performed now if you put it in the setting of the 1930s or even the 1970s, which is when this came out. If you made it look like a super period piece before genetic testing was possible for a court trial, because I forgot to mention the whole play is a court trial. I don't know why I'm just getting to that now. Is a court trial. It's trying a woman named Karen Andre for the death of a fly by the seat of the pants, ruler of the world, financial tyrant, multi-millionaire, nobody can say no to this businessman, Bjorn Faulkner. He died. And so this is the trial of Karen Andre, his secretary and lover or mistress, however you want to put it, because they were together before he got married, which is also part of this as well. And they're trying her for his murder. And when this was released in the 30s, it performed very well as a play, because it was one of the first plays of the time to have audience interaction, more so than just the characters talking to the audience. At the beginning of the play, they actually picked 12 members of the audience to be jurors for the courtroom. And the ending of the play is dependent on the verdict of the jurors of that selected audience based on how the characters acted throughout the course of the play, which actually is quite a brilliant premise, and I think would, as I said, perform very well today if people still wanted to do this. I think it would be really fun and still very novel and interesting. Again, it wouldn't necessarily work because DNA evidence, but if you could suspend that disbelief and have them act in a way that would be, from the last century, I think that that would work very well. And I'm kind of sad that I have never seen this play acted because it seems like it'd be super duper fun. And I really like the fact that it has the audience participation and that the ending of the play is based off of their verdict of guilty or not guilty based on the evidence presented from the actors. So I actually really enjoyed this. I like I said, never heard of this, and I really, like I said, enjoy Ayn Rand. This was a delight. It was a nice way to spend 30 minutes, which is about how long it took me to finish this. I was expecting, you know, I'll sit down and read for maybe an hour, and it's so fast. So I guess if you come across it, there's also a movie as well. So if you don't want to read the book or if you can't find a copy for yourself, there is like a movie that came out based on this play from the 40s, which you might enjoy. And I really like this. So neat little brain break from all the science fiction I've been reading. And it was a nice little, that's what I wanted. I wanted a nice little like light piece of fiction. I just wasn't expecting it to be a play. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you find a copy, I hope you enjoy it. And thank you guys, and until the next video, bye.